Welcome to Fire Breathing Kittens, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons podcast. Today is a special episode as we're joined with our new friend, Alexander Rivers. Hi, Alexander. Can you describe yourself for our listeners?
Oh, wow. I haven't really had my measurements taken in a while, but Moss says I'm growing like a spring sapling, so last I checked, I was about 6'2", just shy of my paw. Elena, that's my little sister. She says I'm almost too tall now. She says she has to crane her neck up when she looks up to me. I'm pretty lanky, like a bean sprout. Ma keeps saying I need to eat more, put some meat on my bones, but other than that, up until recently, I had brownish blonde hair and green eyes, but a while back, something happened to me back home, and now my hair is whiter than cotton, and my eyes are amber, like grain. I'm still trying to figure it all out. Let's see. I didn't bring a whole lot with me when I left home. I'm pretty much wearing everything I own, so a green tunic, brown pants, my travel boots, and my trusty backpack.
Well, hello, Alexander. You're a new addition to the Cranbox. What color would you be, and why?
Well, that's an interesting question. I haven't used crayons in a long time. My favorite color is probably a toss-up between lavender or periwinkle, but I've always been fascinated with the colors the sky turns when the sun has just set over the horizon. I've always found them to be calming, and it's always so exciting to see the stars slowly starting to appear as the colors fade. But if I had to choose a color, I would have to go with a bright sunflower yellow or a sky blue because those colors remind me of my sister.
What are your strengths, Alexander?
Wow, I never really thought about it. Growing up on the farm, there's a lot of hard work that needs to be done every day. When I turned 13, Pa would take me out to cut firewood and hunt for wild game, so I suppose I'm pretty strong in that regard. I can be pretty protective of the people that I care about, and I could be a bit of a charmer when I need to be.
Okay. If you were to admit to some, what are your weaknesses?
Well, I've always been a bit of a daydreamer. Growing up in a small village like Shelton, there's not really a lot that goes on. I've heard it called idyllic before. Most people, that's all they ever ask for, all they ever want. But I don't know, that's never really been me. Whenever a traveling bard or an adventurer would pass through town, I would spend hours at yesterday's bar picking their brains about the adventures they've been on, or for fantastical stories about heroes and monsters. Elena says I get lost in my head a lot, pretending I'm off on an adventure on my own, or if I have been scolded once or twice by Ma and Pa for shirking my duties to go exploring in the forest outside of town.
Technically, I'm supposed to stick to the list, but I want to know, does being yelled at make you want to explore further or stay closer to home?
Well, it actually makes me a little sad. I don't try to shirk my duties. It's just these fantastical stories that I've heard growing up, I've always wanted to be an adventurer, and I can't help but thinking about it. So, I mean, yes, when Ma or Pa would get mad at me, I would feel bad, and I'd apologize, but I just can't help it.
You are too precious. I am picturing that you're like 10 years old, by the way. I can't tell. I'm very bad at age. How old are you? I feel like I need to ask.
Oh, I had my 18th birthday not too long ago.
Oh, good. All right. The adult is slightly less concerned. Good. Okay, so that does kind of answer question 5. Why do you want to join the Fire Breathing Kittens Guild? Because you're a new adult seeking adventure. I get it. Okay. All right. Well, question 6. Let's say you find that adventure, you get that fame. You are so famous that you are given a 1-minute advertisement time spot during the annual Nickemway fighting tournament. You have been hired to perform in the Super Bowl halftime show, basically, if you will. What would you fill it with?
Oh, man. Never been asked something like that before. But, I guess if I was to come up with something, I know. I would make a 60-second advertisement for the Fire-Breathing Kittens. You guys perform an amazing service to all the people of the city and the world, so if more people knew about the guild, the more jobs that would come in, and the more people who would want to join up. The world needs more heroes, I think, so that's what I would do.
I think whoever told you about us might have been playing a prank. but we'll try to live up to your expectations. Question 7. Adorable Alexander, what do you like to do in your spare time?
Well, whenever I do find myself spare time, other than daydreaming, of course, about adventure, I do like to spend some time whittling little objects out of wood. It's one of the few things we get to do back in Shelton. I used to make little toys for my sister, and she was always happy when I made her a new one. Also, I do play the lute a little bit, but I'm not very good at it.
Nobody starts out good at a musical instrument. This is the secret to violins and most things. You just gotta keep doing it. If it makes you happy, though,
It does. It passes the time, and I don't know. It's difficult, but if you think it's something worthwhile, I'll keep at it.
No one should decide that for you. How does it make you feel to play the lute? And the people around you's face when you play, is that like, is it pained or is it happy? It's up to you to decide.
It used to be, so Elena used to cover her ears when I would play back at home, but here recently, I've learned a couple of chords, and I can strum a little bit. I don't know any songs. I haven't been taught anything, but yeah, I'll keep at it.
Ooh, I can teach you some ukulele handholds. You only really need 3 chords.
Sure, I'd love to.
Gentle background strumming is really most songs, right? So just
yeah.
3 chords. Anyway, question 8. What things in life are still a mystery to you, Alexander?
Oh, so many things. Growing up in Shelton, I wouldn't say it's a sheltered life, but it's a small town, so I know everybody. Very seldom do people come in. Mysteries. Well, one mystery that I would love to get solved is what happened to me not too long ago. There was a strange event in the night sky. It looked like a shooting star. It shone bright, and it flew over Shelton and then crashed in the woods outside of town. Me and my friend Raymond, we went to go see what it was, and well, when I touched it, I blacked out, and I don't remember a whole lot. But when I woke up, that's when I discovered that my hair had changed colors, and my eyes as well.
You might be a wizard, Harry.
It's funny you say that. I've noticed I can do things I haven't been able to do before. I have access to, I don't know, some sort of magic power. I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Is the web slinging going very well? Can you, after being bitten by the spider, sling from building to building?
Well,
have you tried your magic?
I have tried a couple of things. I can create light in the palm of my hand.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty handy at night, and I use it as like a nightlight when I read. It's pretty bright, though.
It's the most adorable application.
I'm sure there's still other stuff I can figure out. I'm still playing with it, but I want to use it to help people.
I was going to say, there might be an orphan somewhere who needs a nightlight. This is both a place for you to learn and a place for you to teach us to remember that we are good people and heroes. Yes, I think you're going to be a good influence on us, actually. Yes.
I hope so.
Question 10. You will be. Question 10. Do you speak any other languages, Alexander?
I do. I speak Halfling, believe it or not. So it's a bit of an odd choice. Every couple of months, there's a trade caravan that comes through Shelton that's owned and run by this charming halfling fellow named Dylan. Oftentimes, my folks would be too busy on the farm to go to town on the days he showed up, so they'd send me. And Dylan can talk of a storm, and when he gets excited, he starts talking in halfling. So I picked up enough to be passable, so I can understand him. It's not a lot, but I'm pretty proud of it.
Well, you've got to be pretty smart inside that head, huh? Yeah, picking up a language just like that.
It took a while.
Self-confidence. Yeah, well, Yeah, it takes a lot of people a really long time. So, yeah. You sound magical and smart and kind. What a good addition to the guild. All right, question 11. So you're out on your own. You're in the city of Nicomoy instead of your hometown of Shelton. You can go anywhere now. Where would you like to visit?
Wow, there are so many places I want to visit. I've never seen the desert. I've never seen a jungle. I'd like to go on an ocean voyage sometime. Oh, and visit a castle and have an audience with a king. Oh, and I'd love to visit a dragon's lair.
Okay, let's make it all happen on Saturday.
You guys do that? Well, I don't know if I'm ready yet.
We could try. Maybe it might take 2 Saturdays.
I'll book you in my schedule.
Okay. All right. We have entered silly question territory. Question 12 out of 15. Alexander, do you like pickles?
Of course I do. Who doesn't like pickles? It's one of the few snacks we had quite a lot of back on the farm. My mom loves to pickle all kinds of stuff. They keep forever and they're just delicious.
Is there any chance that you're going home soon and can bring back some pickles? Because that does sound delicious.
Well, I haven't actually, I didn't tell my folks that I was leaving. That's kind of one of the flaws I have is I kind of get ahead of myself sometimes. So I haven't, I should probably write them a letter and let them know I'm okay. But when I do, I'll ask for pickles.
Okay. All right. Step 1, we're going to have you write a letter so that you can tell them you're okay. And step 2, we're going to get you on an adventure, get you some gold, and have you go home with presents for them. Yeah?
That would be the best thing ever. Elena would love it.
You can buy her a yellow and blue dress.
I didn't even think about that. That's a good idea.
Question 13. A penguin walks through that door right now wearing a sombrero. What does it say and why is it here?
Well, I'd imagine they'd be here looking for help with something. That's why most people come to the guild hall, right?
It's also a bar.
It's also a bar.
I can't help but mess with you. I'm sorry.
I was wondering. There's a lot of people here. I was curious. Unless the penguin was a guild, is the penguin a guild member? I haven't seen one walking around. I'd imagine they have all kinds of stories to tell. I'd get them to tell me where they were, what kind of adventures they've been on, and where they got that cool hat.
Well, I was in a castle in the desert after my ocean voyage. Before that, I was in a jungle.
I have so many questions for you, Mr. Penguin.
Oh, man. First time I've ever been a penguin in an interview. All right. Second to last question. What would you like remembered about you, Alexander?
Oh, well, that's a tough one. I think for starters, I want to be remembered as someone who did good for people. I've got these new powers that I'm just trying to figure out, and I want to use them for good. I want to use them to save people and fend off villages from monster attacks. And what I would ultimately really love to happen, years from now, when I've retired and done all the crazy adventures I've been on, I would love for a bard to come back to Shelton and tell stories about the exploits that I've went on. Share my story, my tales, and to inspire others to become a hero like I want to be.
Aw, that is a very realistic dream.
I think so.
Yeah, let's make that happen.
I really want to.
We can do that. That we can do. All right, and very last question. What is one message you would give to your fans?
One message. Well, if you don't think that you can do it, I urge you to reconsider. I think everybody has it in them. It's just one step you have to take and then another. Anybody could be a hero if they want to. Anyone can save the day. It just takes that first step. And if you take that first step, you've done more than a lot of people have. So just do that. And soon you'll be having adventures of your own. And people will be telling stories about you.
And you might accidentally make everyone around you a good person.
That's true.
I know. I can feel my heart melting. And the Grinch felt her heart grow 2 sizes that day. Joining us today were Alexander. Say goodbye, Alexander.
Goodbye, everybody.
And we'll see him on an upcoming adventure. Goodbye.
Goodbye.